everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what is up, fellas? How we doing? Welcome to another brand new episode with your boy TraderPrad, and I'm having to fix my hair because my hair is behaving not how I want it to. Also, I forgot to open what the hell? Forgot to open my Twitch or my Twitter chat, so let me just open up my Twitter stream chat and have it up on a different screen so we can look at it. I mean, why even bother? No one even messages me on there anyways. It's just my YouTube chat that's the most important one. We got TH and John Vaughn in here so far, and hopefully we'll get more people rolling in. Also, it is stupid hot in my room, so I'm going to be putting on my fan. Hopefully the fan noise is not too loud and annoying you guys. If it is, do let me know. And I'm going to have to probably put on a hat to cover my ugly hair today. Anyways, who cares? Moving on. Let's talk about the stock market. That's what you're here for. The market today, boy oh boy. So first, the CPI number wasn't really amazing. From what it looks like, CPI did get a little bit hotter, or is that the right way to put it? Prices did go up by 0.1%, but it doesn't really matter overall. We're not seeing crazy growth, I guess, on the inflection or the inflation side. So possible cuts on the rates coming in the near future. That's what the market's pricing in the move a little bit, maybe. If we don't get a rate cut, then obviously that's a whole different deal. But for now, it looks like the market wants to price in a rate cut. We did get a pop initially. That pop later on got sold off. That sell-off right off the open then got matched back with more buying. I can just show you the charts while I'm talking about it. So that sell-off got matched right back with more buying, and then you had something about Iran or whatever that later on dropped the market back to the downside, eventually closing red today. What happened there? Eventually closing red today very slightly. We were red quite deep a little bit, but I'm okay with closing slightly red than what we were. And There were a bunch of trades today. Shopify, for those of you who watched my stream yesterday, Shopify gave you a monster long. Palantir broke its all-time high. You had nuclear stocks going nuclear. Drone stocks going to the upside because Trump daddy, Donnie's drones. Donnie is now getting ready to create drones, or at least make drones great again in North America, because drones obviously have been taken over by the Chinese side. The China, if you previously you had the space race in the market, right? Now, or maybe not in the market. In general, you had the space race. Now you have the AI race, because the drone race, America already lost that. But Donnie is trying his best to catch up. You know, it's better late than never. So they're trying to catch up and see if they can become #1 drones. Supersonic, I'm guessing that's for those Concorde type planes that fly extremely fast, supersonic birds and so on. What else was in it was drone, supersonic, and I'm forgetting there was something else. Flying cars, yeah, flying cars. So that's basically trying to be Xpeng. I'm trying to remember if that was the company who Xpeng, maybe something like that. I forget how it went. It's not Xpeng. Xpeng is the EV company. But anyways, drones and all kinds of Ehang. See, my memory. I might forget for a little bit, but I'll remember it right back. Ehang, I think Speed actually got to test drive this car, which was pretty cool if you ask me. The flying car was pretty cool. It only flew up and straight back down, wasn't that amazing? But overall, still a good thing. So drones, nuclear, AI, quantum. You had quantum names going to the upside too, and then they sold off later on. IonQ had a nice pop, and then that got slammed back to the downside. QUBT, one of the only quantum names that kind of held up today, and I had a trade on QUBT. We'll talk about my trades very soon, but you know, tons of opportunities out there on the market. Palantir, we talked about Palantir, so let me show you Palantir. Nice breakout of the all-time high and staying strong above the all-time high, so very bullish over here across the board on all stocks that we were looking for the market to stay bullish on. So Shopify, another one that we talked about. I'm trying to remember. TEM, Tempest AI, that was another one that I bought to my long-term today. So the long-term account looking good. Hopefully the market doesn't crash anytime soon and we see a big move to the downside. I think I was listening to a couple of really smart kids, man. These kids are geniuses, honestly, from the Revere Asset Management. Connor Bates from the Revere Asset Management was on a Twitter space call today around 5 o'clock, and he was talking about how usually when garbage names like RGTI, QUBT, QBTS, all of these stocks start going to the upside, that is when you get a signal that, you know, maybe it's about to start topping off and it's time to start taking profits on not really go ham on buying stocks and going long on positions. But right now, as it looks like the semiconductor stocks and a bunch of other markets are trying to get caught up, you know, you don't want to see semiconductor market SOXX. You don't want to see the semiconductor market below the 200-day moving average again, because that would mean, you know, you got some weakness coming back into the market. This market, as long as it's strong, overall, I think it's going to be hard to make the market look extremely bearish, especially when you had a move like this on Tesla where it cracks down and then reverses back immediately like nothing happened. So monster moves across the board for day traders and for swing traders. Hopefully all of you guys in the chat are taking advantage of some of these moves and making that sweet cheddar cheese, baby. Talking about sweet cheddar cheese, I gotta actually fund my IBKR account because my I just need to fund an IBKR account. But maybe I should just trade with no, I should just trade with IBKR, because then I can leave my stops in for you know, overnights and so on, right? Yeah, you know what? I should fund my BKR account. I do have quite a bit of already trading made on my Wealthsimple account, but I'm most likely going to, after I'm done with holding on to positions on there, then I'm most likely just going to transfer it over to IBKR. Wealthsimple is basically a Canadian Robinhood. And hopefully Robinhood eventually opens up in Canada, at which point then maybe I could also start using Robinhood. Nice little pop on Robinhood today. Also bought some Robinhood today, or maybe I think yesterday, somewhere around last few days ago I bought Robinhood, and seeing Robinhood go up is also very happy for me. Here are a couple of the stocks that moved today, but actually let's save this for the watch list. Let's start with my trades on the day. I only had 2 trades today. Was busy with my dog. For those of you who remember, I wasn't even supposed to be trading today. But thankfully, the doggo's good. He's all fine. He just has to take some medicine, some medication, and hopefully he's probably like a poison ivy rash or something that he has under his belly. And they just need to take some medication to get rid of that. Overall, he's doing fine. Hopefully, he's getting old, man. Poor doggo's getting old. Usually, you know, he used to be the one pulling me around the block straight without a break. Now he needs like, you know, a couple rest times. He needs to stop moving for a couple minutes and sit down. It hurts my soul watching this happen. But you know, it's my doggo. I love him to the death. Hopefully, not anytime soon that comes in. VOYG, good IPO today. Insane IPO if you ask me. The stock is supposed to be opening at $31. And I was expecting maybe we see 40, 50 bucks. It opens at what, $69, $70. So insane IPO overall. I don't think the hype behind this name deserves for the stock to be at 70, but I'm not an analyst, right? I'm just going off of my mental memory of 4 years of trading IPOs, that I don't think this company deserves to be opening up that much higher of a premium than what it actually supposed to open at. So I was just you know, more adamantly looking for the short side. I was very eager to short the stock today, but I did manage to start looking with the long first. The stock opened at 69, flushed to the downside to 65, and I thought, you know, I missed my short move sadly, but luckily enough, stock pops right back to 69, 70 area, and you can see it having a nice battle between 69, 70. There's a reserve action around $70. Eventually that $70 reserve breaks, and the stock runs up to the north side to 72, 74 or so. But I'm only allowed, like, not allowed, the liquidity is so bad that I actually only able to get $2 per share on that long. So I get out on a quick little scalp to 72, and the rest of the shares I get stopped out on a move back below 72. But had it not gone back below 72, I would have been able to, you know, capture a much bigger move on this stock had it actually gone crazy like Circle IPO did. Was it Circle? I think, yeah, Circle IPO did. So very excited to see how that played out. Later on, I saw some struggle coming into play for the stock on pops, but it was trying to hold around 69, around 70. But on each pop, we're just making lower high. But on each drop, we're making higher low, basically creating a nice little wedge pattern. Eventually, that wedge pattern cracks, giving you a short entry on a pop over here into the opening range low, I guess you could call it. You get a pop and another reject for a breakdown again. Sadly, at this time, again, I was busy, so I walked away from my screen and missed out on this move. Later on, there was a long here too that I would have possibly been involved in. I was interested for a long near 50 had it gone there. It did go near 50. I think there was an opportunity somewhere in this area, a breakout somewhere around 54 or so. That gave you a long, and you can see how when it pulls back to 54, that's the same price the stock managed to hold again. So I was having a correct read around that 54 overall, and it managed to bounce back up into $60, but then got sold right back from from 60. So expecting the stock to be a little bit fireworks tomorrow. We'll see if the space team is going to allow Voyager be active and run back to the upside, or is it actually going to have some sort of a reality check and pull back into the expected price point around $30 to $40? That's where the stock was supposed to open around. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, and hence it's on the watch list. Another stock, QUBT, obviously quantum name. Quantum names today, like we talked about earlier, absolutely bonkers. At the time that I was looking at QUBT, all the quantum names were actually at the low of day. They were at the bottom of the ranges. For the intraday range, they were at the bottom of the intraday ranges and not looking bullish at all. But whereas QUBT was looking extremely bullish, holding above VWAP and not looking weak at all, especially over here when it tried to break down. This should have really broken the stock down and continued to push it lower, but that didn't. That got matched with buyers right away, and then sellers didn't really move lower. Sellers were stuck at what, 1960. So eventually I just drew a trend line, took the starter around this area because the stock eventually pushed back lower, made a higher low, made a higher low again. So I was like, okay, something's going on here. I'd be idiotic to not take a long and risk somewhere right here, because it looks like, you know, we could pop right back up, especially if the market pops back up, and if the quantum stocks, which look like they're at their lower days, they pop back up too, then I could actually add and turn this trade into a real trade on the break of the trend line. This is also an inverse head and shoulders on the 2-minute. So you have a right head over here, left head over here, sorry, left shoulder, right shoulder, and a head, and then the neckline basically lines up with that 1960 area, also lines up with that trend line. So 1960 trend line, holding above VWAP, markets bottoming out, quantum stocks are bottoming out. It was just a multi-confluence idea overall for me to say, you know, yes, I will add on this position. So I added, eventually took some profits on the pop because it showed me clear signs of struggling into $20. Another attempt to go through 20, but it did not go through 20, so I get out of that. Potentially should not have taken that add on extra size, but what I saw was after it pushed back from 20 to 1960, it had a little bit of a curl back up. So I figured, okay, you know what, maybe I could take this entry here with a very tight stop, because if it does break those lows again, there's just no more upside, right? Try to imagine, let me copy this picture, open it in Paint. Try to imagine a picture where the stock does this. Ooh, we need a different color. Try to imagine where the stock goes here and then goes this. It might happen, but ideally this right here should have done that. But because that didn't do that, this should have done that, and that didn't do it either. So for it to do something like this is also out of the picture. You can see how this resistance or support now turn into resistance. So permutation calculations, you'll only be able to do this if you've seen enough charts, have enough screen time, and you know, actually even spend the thought process to actually go through the permutations that way. So picturing a chart, this is more often what I could see after a move like this. Ideally from here, it should have done this. Even better, after this, it should have done this. It should have done that. So because it didn't do that, I should have not added into that spot at all. And you know, maybe I would have been able to cut that position a little bit quicker. So giving back some money on that trade, but overall, pretty good trade. Getting about $1 per share. You can say I got about, honestly, what is that? This is about about 70 cents per share overall is what I got on that trade, I guess is what you could say. Maybe a little bit lower than that. So it's tiny profit, not really like an A plus trade, because I ruined it for myself over here. Without that, it would have been basically like a B or a B minus trade, which would have been awesome enough for me to talk about. But hey, only had 2 trades today, and usually I post 4, so I figured I'll post both of them, and both of them were green. Pretty rare where it's all green trades. Also pretty rare where I only have 2 trades. Hopefully we'll keep ourselves disciplined like we have been so far in the last few weeks. Okay, here's a quick watch list from our good friends over at Centerpoint. Not sponsored by them at all. I just like their quick little synopsis they post of the 10 best movers of the day. Oracle moving after hours from earnings report. We'll dive into that using Benzinga really quickly. Oklo, we talked about that. That's your nuclear energy movers. QUBT said that quantum computers will soon be able to solve complex real-world problems. Sir, I thought quantum computing wasn't 10 years away. What happened now? It's soon now. Only it's very soon instead of 10 years now. What happened there, Jensen? So pretty confusing over there. Intel down 6% on no company specific. Who cares about Intel? I did see airline stocks were down today. AAL, UAL, DAL, all the AL stocks, American Airlines, and so on, all pushed the downside. I didn't see any real catalyst. Oh, okay, the oil surge amid tension in Middle East. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty obvious catalyst. That makes sense. So American Airlines and other airlines in general, potentially even worth looking for a long on the dips tomorrow on these airlines for a day trade in case they get sold off even more. We'll see how the headlines come out in the Middle East and the tensions. They tried to shake the market a little bit to the downside with those, but the market kind of withstood that shake, I'll say. But we'll see how it plays out, obviously, day over day as the news matures. XOM up 2% over the same news. GME down 10% after hours. I saw that. What happened? Private offering. So same thing Oklo did. Oklo did a private offering, public offering, whatever you want to call it. And here you have GME dropping to the downside. Oof, 1.7 billion convertible notes. Not good at all. TEAM down 5% after competitor Linear recently raised significant funding for its company. I'm not sure what team does. I'm not sure what Linear does, but okay. Circle up 10% as the company announces closing a full exercise of green shoe options granted in the initial public offering. That's your IPO. Apple down 2% as the US-China trade talks may not have been as beneficial as Apple as investor and expected. I mean, Apple in general just sucks at this point, okay? Not a lot of people are buying as many Apple products as they used to, and Apple is just not what it used to be anymore. So, Apple breaking 200, and that's a level that I was talking about yesterday to you guys. Hopefully, some of you took that trade. Sadly, I was watching 200 break on my way back into the house, so I was not able to take the 200 break, but had I cared enough to watch the name, I did get a pullback to short exactly at a line that I have drawn on the stock. I have no clue where that line comes from, I'll be honest. I think it comes from here, exactly to a line where I have drawn, surprisingly enough, coming into that area and then pushing back down. You could basically call this the 9 EMA and the 21 EMA reclaim, not reclaim, but continuation. It tried to reclaim it and it failed to reclaim the EMAs and pushed right back to the downside. Somewhere over here, risking that high would have been a very good short on Apple for the move into end of day, and you see how Apple gave you that pretty good trade. I mean, I could have possibly taken that. I just wasn't watching Apple at that moment. I also paused my alerts, so that was another stupid mistake that I could have done. All alerts, please, and unmute the alert. Although I guess I could turn off the alert at this point because I don't think it's gonna go to 200 tomorrow. You know what? Tomorrow VWAP is still 261 for today. So if we do get a pop into today's VWAP, which would be around 261, 200, 250, maybe there is still a chance for me to take that short opportunity on a pop and fail into 200. So that's a quick little short thesis idea on Apple tomorrow. Let me just quickly put it in my notes for myself. Still watching for the continued weakness on this name, and I'm going to be watching around the 200 area. Coming back to the top of the watch list, let me load in Benzinga. For those of you who don't know about Benzinga, it's an awesome tool that I mainly use for news and Squawk. But for you guys who are looking for scanners, for charting tools, and AI capability that is mainly catered to stock market, research tools, and even a chat platform, trading can be a very lonely job. So if you want someone to talk to, get a friend. No, I'm joking. You can talk to on this professional chat platform with actual real traders who are always willing to help people out. I'm not in that chat platform, but I'm just promoting Benzinga for those of you who are interested. The link should be in my link tree right here. So get 10% off using that link. Thank you for Benzinga to sponsoring this segment. Oracle, let's go see how Oracle reported today. I think Oracle is the only stock on the watch list from the earnings report. We do have stocks that reported today pre-market and so on, but I'm not gonna really read into the report over there. Oracle is the only one we are basically going to read today, which is great, which means I don't have to read a ton of reports. 15.9 billion versus 15.58, 1.7 versus 1.64, up 11% year over year. Cloud revenue up 27%. Cloud infrastructure up 52%, cloud application up 12%, Fusion Cloud ERP up 22%, NetSuite Cloud ERP up 18%. Azure grew by 115%. I'm pretty sure Azure used to lose money and now they're actually making money. Let's go. Noted its multi-cloud database revenue for Amazon, Google, and Azure quarter over quarter. Okay, Oracle ended the period with 10.79 billion in cash and cash equivalents. FY25 was a very good year. Okay, we expect our total cloud growth. Okay, where's the guidance? I don't see guidance. Oracle board declared a quarterly cash dividend of 50 cents per share payable on July 24th. Ooh, a day after a very special day. Shareholders off the record as of July 10th. Oracle usually discusses its forward outlook on its earnings call, so I guess we will have to maybe wait for another report maybe later on in the day for that. But right now I don't have, sadly, what the conference call. I guess I could try to find the conference call transcript. Usually these days it's a lot easier than it was before, but I'm not going to do that right now. What I am going to do is speculate, because I think, oh, I thought the stock went down a little bit later on. It didn't. Okay. So I'm expecting the conference call was good because the stock stayed in the upper end of the area. In this current market, with that move on Oracle, I mean, Oracle is a little extended. It is 7.7 times its ATR away from 50-day moving average. That's a little extended. This is not when you want to be starting a new long position on Oracle for a swing or whatever. This is where you want to be protecting your profits on a pop and playing defense. But on an earnings report, maybe you get that extra juice, especially if the market is pushing to the upside too. You get some extra juice to the upside. Revenue growing by 11%. They make about $1.70. Let's just say $2 per quarter. That's basically like $8 a year. So it's not that bad, just shy of, let's just say, maybe $6 a year compared to, like, inflation and maybe some losses or so are. We'll give them a bottom cut because we're already giving them a round up to $2, right? So let's say $6 a year. That's still a very profitable company. Oh, what's that? Bloomberg reporter Brody Oracle signed a gigantic cloud infrastructure with Chinese e-commerce company Temu. Okay, Oracle has also TikTok's cloud business. Oh, not bad. I didn't know that. Oracle kind of doing good over there. I would have imagined TikTok would have been on Amazon Web Services, on AWS. TikTok is on Oracle. Surprising. And Temu is on Oracle. I guess we know who to blame now for hosting all of these annoying advertisements I see on every single platform. Thank you, Oracle, for doing a great job. Thank you. But, you know, what I also want to see real quick, besides the chart, is what exactly is Oracle's PE ratio. 41. I mean, it's a little high, but not as expensive as, you know, Palantir. And Palantir is breaking all-time high, and that didn't stop me from initiating a new long today. Right, so Palantir, 600 PE now. So Oracle 45, not bad at all. Oracle pushing into the higher end of these ranges over here at the moment, just shy of the, is that the all-time high? That is the all-time high. Just shy of the all-time high currently. Do I think the earnings report's enough to break the all-time high? No, but also I'm not an analyst. So the only thing that matters at the moment is how does the stock behave in the pre-market? Is it going to stay above 191 tomorrow or at least above 186? If so, I think there is a long for the day trade. If not, then there could be some downside move back over here depending on how their conference call went. There is a setup that possibly could set up for a day trade or even a swing trade. It's the money trade. Ideally, the stock opens up a little bit higher in the after hours, and then we are able to buy the dip and then take the breakout of the after hour, of the pre-market, sorry. Hopefully it opens up a little bit higher in the pre-market, and then we're able to buy the dip into pre-market lows and then take the pre-market high breakout for a move into all-time high and maybe even higher on this report. We'll see if buyers are able to come in and defend on this position. So for sure, watch Oracle 186.68. If we do get below that, I'm going to be very turned off on the short side. I guess I'll put in these levels for now, but I'm going to expect these levels to not come into play tomorrow, really. For now, resistance, what is it? Oh, I hate Notion these days. They changed the way the table works. So annoying. Like, why would you do that? I'm gonna put inflection level for now as 190. It's a nice clean inflection in psychological level, 190. We also have the 200 area, which is the all-time high. It's actually 198.30, but it's just, I'm just gonna round it up to 200 at this point. I'm sure with the stock spread, probably hit 200 easily without a problem on Oracle. 18 million shares actually is not that bad. What's the average? 8 million shares on as the 30-day average. 9 million shares. That's not bad for like a $200 name. We'll see how spready it is tomorrow. I'm trying to remember how spready it is usually, but I don't really trade it usually. I only trade it during earnings names or earnings days, so I can't remember right now. Chewy, a name that reported today pre-market and pushed right back below a previous all-time high. Nope, never mind. I'm going to take that words right back. Pushed right back below, however, into the 50-day moving average, which is sloped up. So it'll be hard to look for a short on the breakdown below today's low, but on a pop, maybe they're short. Maybe, you know what? I'm not even going to watch Chewy for a day trade, and I don't think I'm interested in Chewy for a swing trade either. You know, if Chewy does look weak below 40, there could be a bigger move down, but with the way it's already holding above 40 today, I'm not sure there's really a bigger play over here for me to be interested in. Today's low was 39.63. I'm just gonna say 39.50, and if the stock looks weak under it, then maybe I'll be interested. But you'll be shorting into a sloping up 50-day moving average, which is never a good idea to do so. So I'll put this on a lowest priority for me. GME did drop to the downside today after hours, and that will be interesting because not too long ago, well, yesterday, if I remember correctly, yesterday pre-market, GME reported earnings report, and that already took it a little bit lower sorry, yesterday after hours, they reported earnings report, and that already took it a little bit lower. And today they did their offering. Ooh, nice bouncy ball over here on GME into the after hours. So if you took that short, SMB style, you would have been able to capture that move. And if you took that short land style, you would have had to take it right at the after hours on that breakdown. If I don't know how you would have taken it, but you would have to taken it in the after hours right on that breakdown. So GME, possibly a good name to keep an eye on. You can see how on the daily chart it had a very nice tight flat bottom, and breaking below that yesterday and breaking more tomorrow today might just take us a little bit lower, but something that stands out again once more, sloping up 50-day moving average. Don't really want to be taking a break down into 27. If your average price is 27 and you're expecting the stock to go lower than 27, chances are it doesn't. So you want to be careful. You want the stock to be lower than 27 like it is already. This is perfect. So now that it's already below 27, on a pop tomorrow, especially on this candle midpoint right there on the 5-minute, somewhere around $26.80. I'm just going to round it up to 27, which was the level I was looking at already anyways. So 26.80 to 27. I'm interested to see how this stock sets up tomorrow. If we get a nice little pop to short into on GME, might be high priority day trade to keep an eye on. GTLB, GitLab, nice pop back up after the earnings report, but I'm not sure if there will be a day trade on this one tomorrow. Ooh, big volume on GTLB. I like to see that, but I think there's no day trade for me on GTLB. Play, that's right. Completely forgot about Dave & Buster's today, mainly because I wasn't trading today actively. Had I been trading actively today, I think I would have been watching Dave & Buster's. This is start of a pretty good bullish rally. For example, ELF breaking out above 200-day moving average on the earnings report, creating a nice range, and now breaking out of 120. I talked about this long near 115 for you guys, and I told you to possibly add on 120. If you did, you are now what, $4 in the money above 120. You are now $10 in the money above 115. You're welcome. So ELF trying to go up higher, and I think Dave & Buster's play is kind of giving me the same vibe, the same feel on the pattern. So for that, you want to see the stock holding here in this area a little bit, create a nice little flag sideways, and then break out of the flag to the upside. However, that report on play, I haven't read it, and you know, the TradingView says that their report was red, so maybe their report was not that greatest, so you want to be careful, but we'll see how it sets up. At the moment, Dave & Buster's PLAY is 10 ATR away from the 50-day moving average, so initiating a long here will be a little wild. Ideally, you want to see some sideways move, exactly like ELF, some sideways move, and then you get a chance to risk these lows as your stop. Maybe even use the 9 EMA, 21 EMA as your stop. Sadly, ELF is also 14 times its ATR away from 50-day moving average, which is a little extended. Not ideally a spot to start a new trade. You want it to go sideways, and I think this one did go enough sideways for you to look for that long above 120. If the stock gets back below 120, I don't think there is a long on ELF anymore. It's that simple to me. Maybe, you know, it goes back into 108, then it's got to prove itself to me that there's still buyers around 108, around 115. So I might as well get out with under 108 and then look to get back in. Take that paper cut. Okay, no real concept for tomorrow on PLAY. Let it mature a little bit. Let it create some sideways action. Also not really a day trade, I think. Would easily expect volume to die down drastically tomorrow. Stitch Fix, another name I have on my watch list because they reported yesterday, but I don't think this is a name I'll be interested to trade tomorrow at all. So let's talk about the more important names. Actually spend time on the names that will be important. For example, Voyager. I don't think Voyager will spend any time above today's VWAP tomorrow. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before on day 2s for IPO. For example, Sweet Greens, was it Sweet Greens or maybe not Sweet Greens. There was another stupid company like Sweet Greens that I was very wrong about, and watching that company go up Kava. It was Kava. I was very wrong about Kava, and I was absolutely pissed off watching Kava go to $172. And now look at it go. Yeah, screw you, Kava. Go back to the downside. What a stupid IPO. Oh my god. Okay, anyways, coming back to, where were we? Coming back to Voyager, I don't think, you know, this is going to hold up above 60 tomorrow. So on any pops and rejects into 60, I think I'm going to be watching it carefully for a good short opportunity right back to the downside. But if it does look firm above 60, that's going to be a pretty obvious long for me at that point. So that's your inflection level. No real bias as to what I want to do. No bias on the long or the short. Just going to play the variables. It's either holding above 60 or it's getting smoked below 60, and then I'm able to play the short on this name. Circle had another good move back to the upside today. Looked like the day one red is gonna start already, but no, you know, the stock might just continue to be crazy. It is in the AI sector if I remember correctly. I don't remember, honestly. The stock was so recent of an IPO that we looked into it, and I don't even remember if it was in the IPO or not, or sorry, if it's in the AI world or not. However, only thing that matters is it had a green day today. It was clearly holding above yesterday's high, so still very bullish of a stock in general. Looking for shorts on that might be a little scary. CoreWeave, 150 is still that level. 150 is still that main level. You could say 149 Prad is that main level, because that's where the stock was trying to hold above for quite some time. Where did it go? 149 right here. And eventually, nope, that's not it. Where did it go? Am I blind? 148, 149 right there. So am I remembering something differently? I think I'm remembering yesterday. Today it actually tried to hold under it, so that was a pretty good opportunity there. Eventually a failed breakdown of the lows, and then a double bottom and a pop right back up. Okay, yeah, I'm remembering a little bit differently than what I thought I was remembering. Eventually holding below yesterday's lows over here on CoreWeave, and then popping right back up. That is not what you want to see if you are in a short at the moment on this name and expecting it to crumble. I'm expecting maybe Oracle's earnings report potentially giving a little bit of a boost on some of these earnings, or on some of these AI names. We'll see if Nvidia takes advantage of that. We'll see if Microsoft and some of the other server names take advantage of the Oracle earnings report. We'll see how it sets up. But CoreWeave, I have no game plan at the moment. You know, for these big names, I just kind of wait and watch. I was looking to short 150 today at one point. I think it was actually 140. Was it Circle? I think it was Circle that I was trying to short 140 something, or 114. Where was it? Where was it? No, it had to be CoreWeave. Yeah, it was right here. I was itching to short CoreWeave at 145.50. And one of my trading buddies mentioned that there was some size at 144, and also 145.50 was reserving. So it's a good thing that I didn't locate for shorts, because I would have gotten beat up on this one over here very easily. Good little escape overall. Palantir breaking high, all-time high, and looking pretty strong above it. As long as Palantir keeps on ripping, I'll be very happy, because I currently own Palantir again after owning Palantir at 12, selling it at 20, and deciding to not do anything with Palantir all the way up until here. This is where I decide to initiate a position again. Yep, call me stupid, because I feel like one. Let's see if Palantir manages to actually continue its ascent and become the great company that I previously knew it would be, but didn't manage to hold for that move. For the swing trade is what I'm talking about. For the day trade, as long as it continues to stay strong above the 135 area, I think we can continue to look long for the day trade also. But mainly, you know, it all comes down to patterns. It all comes down to your setups. What kind of setups are you comfortable Are you just like going to trade a trend line break, some sort of a wedge break? Are you not into breakouts? Then you wait for a VWAP continuation. So there's just different playbooks, different setups, different strokes for different folks. It just comes down to what you're good at and what you're comfortable doing. So make sure that you're applying those setups on some of these important names for the day trade tomorrow, such as PLTR, GME, Oracle. I think those are three good enough names for the day trade side. On top of that, you have Apple 200. Quickly want to go talk about SMCI because it looked like it was going to break out today, but it pulled right back down. That's a little sad. TEM, nice little move up over here, but that one pulled back too. Let's see if TEM can continue rallying. Shopify had a good breakout today. Let's see if Shopify can continue rallying to the upside. A couple other stocks, obviously OKLO. You could call this day one. This is basically an all-time high break now. All-time high break, a brand new move, a brand new day one move after creating a little bit of a flag and basically breaking a double top over here into a new side. At this point, as long as stock stays above 59.60, it's still a long, and with the way it's looking at the moment into the close, I wouldn't be surprised if the stock opens up into a new high tomorrow. So watch out for OKLO. This is when stocks go crazy. CoreWeave kind of looked like that right here, but then the overall market, some news kind of stopped the ascent. I think we would have seen a much harder and steeper ascent on CoreWeave if it wasn't for that little bit of a bearish sentiment, and OKLO is setting up for this. So if OKLO goes absolutely bonkers, that's gonna set up for a really good swing short. Sadly, actually, OKLO did announce, I think, an offering now that I'm remembering, and that might ruin the squeeze move or the big move to the upside that I'm looking for. Martin Shkreli, who's down currently 40-50% on his account on shorting OKLO and so on. Hopefully he is able to recover on that very, very soon and look smart, because he's a genius, right? He's down 42%. He is a genius. But the market can always be irrational longer than you can stay solvent, and currently it's a clear lesson on that statement in our faces. Thank you, Martin Shkreli, for teaching us that. Okay, OKLO potentially moving back tomorrow. I think it will be a pretty good short if we start holding under 60 tomorrow and looking weak on this name. Along with OKLO, couple other energy nuclear names that you can potentially still watch. SMR, NNE. SMR very similar, also breaking an all-time high. I'm pretty sure it's breaking an all-time high. Damn it, how did I miss this move, man? SMR breaking all-time high and basically looking like another crazy squeezer to the upside. We'll see if it's able to show you support. If it's holding above 40 tomorrow on dips, I think SMR might be a pretty good one for the day trade side. But OKLO watching for the longs and the shorts. SMR mainly watching for the short if we're holding above 40. If we do get below 40, I think there could be a completely different trade there. But the 36, 37 might be a different question. Maybe there's some buying that we will run into, all of which will be answered tomorrow, obviously. QUBT, one of the only stronger quantum names, and I guess we understood why. I was questioning why all the other quantum names were not as strong, and we figured it out. Thank you to our friends over at the Center Point. Jensen Huang said, did he specifically mention QUBT? He didn't say QUBT at all. But overall, I guess he just said quantum computers will be able to solve complex real-world problems in general, and that popped the stock. Let me say goodnight to my niece real quick, fellas. Okay. Good night to my niece over there, and coming back. So I'm not sure if you said anything specifically about QUBT, but you know, you just gotta follow the money. Follow the money. And if the money's telling you that they currently think QUBT is the winner of all the quantums, then hey, who am I to dispute that? So watching this one for some possible continuation tomorrow, and obviously airline names. Man, there's so many names over here. My watch list is already insane. You got drone names, airline names, AAL, UAL, DAL, all of which push to the downside, and I wouldn't be surprised if there'll be some sort of a good long over here. You know, airlines are potentially even getting ready for some sort of a long trade. I mean, airlines barely fucking move. This is lame. That was a pretty good rally on airlines, but how rare does that actually happen? That's from the COVID era, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's not even COVID. That's 2012, Brad. That's COVID. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be interested in Delta Airlines for a swing trade. But for a day trade, you know, we'll see if there's an opportunity to keep an eye on with the whole Middle East tensions. But I think more importantly, it'll just be the names on my watch list that I already have. Shopify, we talked about this already. Nice little breakout today above 114, was it? Or 112? 112, nice little breakout above that. And a continuation if we hold on dips. Joby and RCAT and ACHR. You had Trump obviously sign that executive order to make drones great again. That joke's gonna live forever. So make drones great again. So ACHR, JOBY, all of which making a little bit of a pop, and time to possibly keep an eye out for these as a swing trade. I want to also quickly take a look at robotics. RR and some of the other robotic stocks, how are they doing? SERV, ooh, nice little range on SERV at the moment. No clue if SERV has any real robotics at all. Maybe leave the alert for now. But SERV getting, you know, nice little range over here. Moving averages are curling back up. Exactly what I want to see at the very least. And some of the other robotic companies are doing the exact same thing. At the end of the day, there's only one real winner in the robotic sector, and that's Tesla, in my opinion, until other big companies come out. OUST, one of the biggest winners in the robotics sector, and monster move. This is basically at this point parabolic, and maybe even is that a high volume close? That could be a high volume close on OUST. You could potentially even add to this trade at this point, but I need to confirm with my friend Real Simple Ariel. So we'll see how that one sets up. I think for now, honestly, OUST is a little overextended. It is 16 times away from its 16 ATR away from the 50-day moving average. So that's far. You know, maybe some sideways to look for a continuation setup to join into. Starting a trade without that will be a little ridiculous. So this is going crazy. This is going nuts. As for a day trade, I think you're looking for a short, you know, some sort of a failure to hold above the previous day high for a move into previous day's VWAP, or even a bigger move after that. I don't think tomorrow would be the day to short this name. Tomorrow might be day 2 after today being basically a big volume day 1. So we'll be watching this name for sure. OUST is in the robotics or the drone. I don't even know what the hell they do, but seems like I have them in my robotics scanner. So obviously gonna keep an eye out for this. I have too many names on watch for tomorrow, Chad. This is going to be insane. There's no way I'm not going to end up over trading tomorrow. So I gotta be careful on that side. Dell looking a little weak, which is not good. Maybe time to quickly take a loss on my Dell shares. Thankfully, I didn't buy a lot. I was planning to buy Dell shares more above 117, but I wanted to prepare myself for a little bit of a move over here. But right now, Dell looked like it wants to go back down. So if we do give up the 21-day moving average on Dell, potentially I'm going to take that loss on this one for the swing trade. But for sure, watching Dell because I did like their earnings report, but the market clearly not showing that they like it. ELF, I did not start on this name as I should have, and this one's really painful. So I'll be watching ELF for potential pullbacks into 120 and so on. UPST pulled back today after another big pop, but this is just what UPST does. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. So I'm used to what UPST doing at this point as a day trader. I need to be better at what UPST is doing as a swing trader. So I'll be a little more patient on that one. And TEM, I think this one as a day trade and a swing trade, both opportunities are going to show up once we start holding firmly above 72. So keep an eye out for this one on that area. Not gonna really put levels on watch for some of these drone names because they are all over the place, honestly. You know, and they've been making a run up before this news catalyst, so kind of like this news catalyst was already known and we are just now getting the news catalyst. So some of these levels are murky. A lot of them actually got pushed right back down after today's pop and closed at the low a day. So I'm not really too confident about how I want to be trading these drone names tomorrow. The only one that stands out is ACHR, so potentially that's the one to keep an eye on for the sector in case the sector does catch some traction, catch some heat. So I'll put that one on watch for now, but the rest of them I'll just kind of give them no notes, which is the lowest priority for the moment. QUBT obviously deserves some respect, so we'll give that a little bit of a priority. Shopify deserves some respect, we'll give that some priority. The rest of them are basically swing or long term anyway, so we're not going to really care too much about those. Hood's doing good, nice little pop on Hood today. Would love to see Hood go to $100. PL not really doing what I want to see it do. PL is basically giving up the $5.70 area. Not the best, but if you look at what ELF did, right? ELF gave up the midpoint, went into the earnings day low, held the earnings day low, and then slowly trickled back up. Also, this move from $4 to $6 is insane. That's like a 50% rally. Expected to take profits on the stock for people. Also, I'm long at 450. I don't really care if the stock goes below 5. I'm still making money on this name if it gets below 5. So I'm gonna be watching patiently to see if the stock goes into 5, gives up 5, or if it manages to hold 5. But on the whole ride down, I'm going to be very upset. So maybe lock in a little bit more profits instead of being upset on the way down, and then buy it back at 5, buy it back at 450 if it really goes back down there. So watch what Planet Lab does as it's pushing back lower. RDW did look like it was going to put me into completely pissed off territory and close the position, but nice bounce back today on RDW. It's in the aerospace defense sector, and you got an aerospace and defense IPO today, so nice little 10% pop right back up after the drop yesterday. Exactly what I want to see on this name. Send RDW to the moon, baby, send it. Still own quite a bit of shares of RDW, so I don't want to see it getting below the 9-day moving average. For sure don't want to see it getting below my average, which is 1660, and the 21-day moving average is well below my average, so probably not going to hold it for the all the way move back down if it goes there. That's basically my position update and a quick little watch list for tomorrow to keep an eye out for. No big earnings reporting tomorrow for pre-market, but we do have Adobe and Restoration Hardware, so pull up tomorrow after 8 o'clock, and we'll go through these earnings to talk about. We do have some IPOs. Oh my god, I don't have enough room on my watch list. Okay, thankfully, hold up. These two IPOs are on the 18th of June, so thank God I don't have to worry about that. I only have one tomorrow to worry about. Vantage Corp, Singaporean company. I mean, who really cares about that? $18 million company. I don't think that one matters. Chime Financial, I don't think this one is going to be as hype as the last two IPOs were, which is Circle and VOYG. but for sure worth a watch. It's almost $1 billion IPO. So not watching that one is going to be, why did I type this over here? Not watching this one will be stupid. So CHYM Financial, Chime Financial. Let's go see what they actually do. IPO size 800 million according to stockanalysis.com. Offered shares 32 million shares. Total range of the IPO expected to be between $24 to $26. And let's continue to read on the stock profile. Through its direct relationships with FDIC-insured bank partners, Chime delivers easy-to-use products that addresses the most critical financial needs of everyday people: spending, saving, accessing liquidity, and building credit, all while avoiding punitive fees. Through our broad suite of products, we have built trusted relationships with 8.6 million active members. Is that good enough? With 67% of them relying on Chime to serve as a primary financial relationship. I'm guessing this is an American bank, regional bank. So KRE, regional, small company overall, 1,400 employees. Sorry. Not a big company, right? Still fairly new, I guess. But I feel like I've heard about this company quite a bit. Market cap about 8 billion, 9 billion. Quickly, let's go see where KRE themselves are. Where is KRE currently? This is your regional bank ETF, and they are getting rejected by the 200-day moving average. So potentially worth watching what KRE is doing tomorrow when you are trading Chime Financial or even XLF, right? Watching what XLF is doing. If XLF is being extremely weak, I might be more inclined to short Chime Financial tomorrow off the IPO. And if KRE and XLF are bullish and strong AF tomorrow, I might be more inclined to look for, that would have been a pretty good long on KRE right there. Sadly pushed right back down. Anyways, if they are bullish tomorrow, then I might be more inclined to look for a long on Chime. It also depends on where the stock opens. It's supposed to open from 24 to 26. I wouldn't be surprised if it opens at 30 to 40 with how things are going at the moment. So keep an eye out for this bad boy. Outstanding shares, 364 million shares. No PE ratio. Quickly go check out if they are making, ooh, nice. So year over year, they are growing, grew from 2022, 23, 24, and current number 2. So they are growing year over year, and that's exactly what you want to see on for the company. But with no PE ratio, I'm expecting that they don't actually make any money. Earnings per share is negative 0.08. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. So it does not look horrible to me for Chime Financial. For sure, worth keeping an eye out for the day trade and for, maybe not the swing trade. I hate looking for IPOs as a swing trade, but you could say the same thing about CoreWeave. You could say the same thing about Circle, and you would have missed out on a monster long over there on both of them. Okay, quickly, let's end the stream over here with talking about the econ calendar tomorrow. You got jobless claims, PPI, both at 8:30. So that's going to be the important number. Like today you had the CPI, tomorrow you have the PPI and the jobless claims. Hopefully those come out in the right direction and take the market higher. Currently market is pushing a little bit lower in the after hours. We're just kind of trading sideways. SPY is below or around 6,000. It's not below 6,000. It's around 6,000, but still in the red after hours over here. VIX is spiking up. VIX is now at 17. So that's not really a good thing, right? VIX getting up again to the north side, not a good thing. This whole Middle East nonsense probably going to stop the rally to all-time high, sadly. Hopefully not. But hey, sometimes the market shakes you out before it breaks out. So just got to be ready for that shakeout, and then you'll be able to make out with the breakout. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Just be ready for all types of situations, right? Make sure you're using stops. Make sure you're ready to take profits on your positions if you need to, and don't get married to your positions, okay? Don't get married to a possible dream and the hype that the market is going to keep going higher and higher. Take profits. You can always always get back into the trades if you need to. Talking to myself mainly when I'm talking about this. PPI, jobless claims, a WASD report at 12 o'clock, 30-year bond auction at 1 o'clock. That one's important, so keep an eye out for the 30-year bond auction too. At the moment, it'll be hard to see people wanting bonds with the way the government keeps on spending money. So with their debt keeps going higher, their spending keeps going higher. I'm not sure the bond auction is going to be actually a good number, but keeping an eye on that for sure. 30-year bond auction. I think today you had the 10-year bond auction. You did have the 10-year bond auction. So tomorrow, 30-year bond auction, and that will be wrap for Thursday. Tomorrow will also be the final stream of the week, so I'll see you guys to talk about Adobe, to talk about RH, talk about my trades on the day, and hopefully plan for a free fall Friday. Thank you for coming in. Hopefully you guys have already hit that. Why do I say hope so many times? Hope is like the worst word to have as a trader. I would appreciate if you guys hit the like, hit that subscribe, hit that drop a comment in there in the on the off stream and so on. Share it with your friends, because obviously we're trying to grow this channel. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors: Traders Insight, Trade Ideas, Trader Sync, Benzinga Pro, Flash Research. Make sure you check out the links in the description to get discounts for those appropriate softwares. And also, last but not least, check out Discord Real Simple Ariel. That's where I'm learning how to trade swing trading. Thank you to Ariel. If you guys want to join me and Ariel, who is a multi-millionaire, and also a bunch of other traders who are learning along with me in there. It's not like a one-on-one course, but it's basically is a one-on-one course, because he's constantly answering questions, he's constantly showing charts, showing his trades, showing his stops, showing his entries, teaching you guys, talking to you throughout the day on Discord live chat. So there's just non-stop education just by sitting in the call and you know, watching a YouTube on the side, or day trading yourself when you're at a prop firm like myself. So I found tons of advantage by sitting in this call, and I think you guys would too. So go check out that link in the description. And finally, my affiliate, my social media links are right up here. I'll see you guys next time. Time to roll in the Dieter outro. Momo said need add PFE and Moderna on the watches because not enough stocks. Yeah, that's not happening, Momo. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors: Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.